Let's see.
What is up, everyone? We are back with yet again another episode of Smoke and Meteoras. I am your host, Marissa, and this episode we are joined by one of my favorites on the deathmatch scene right fucking now. He is none other than Dimitri Alexandrov. Welcome in, Dimitri. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for having me once again. It feels awesome.
Absolutely, it's great to have you back. I can't really say back because we got a new podcast now. But
It's
great
new. It's
to
a
have
new.
you. Great to have you on again.
Great to be here on this a show with you, but a brand new show altogether. Let's go with that. Yeah.
That works for me. All right, so let's just jump right on in. Let's go back to the beginning before wrestling was even involved in your life.
Yes.
Growing up, where did you feel like you belonged, and did you ever get caught like between different identities?
For the longest time, it's kind of been like a weird thing when you're like the kid of immigrants. You're just kind of like you know are you supposed to embrace more of like the heritage you come from, or like when your parents are like, especially in my case, my parents like to kind of say, we don't talk about that old stuff. This is new stuff now. We talk about that a lot of times. My parents, that's because my parents were Cold War kids, though. They want to that's in the past, here's now kind of thing with my family. And because of that, it was kind of a weird thing where then I had like my mother's side, the Alexandrov side, actually, they were the ones who were very much like, no, embrace your heritage. We have lots of things that are good about this still and everything like that. And it was kind of almost being like a divided household sometimes where like my parents were very much like, here's America, be American, kid. And then my mom's side just very much like, embrace your culture. So you had like a little bit of a tug of war from that, kind of a weird thing to be with.
So, how did your relationship with your Russian heritage shape you, both in moments of pride and moments of feeling different?
You know, nowadays definitely it's a lot of weirdness, a lot of with it now. But growing up, my family, because of the heritage I have, my family wanted to be like, hey, those negative stereotypes that you have been like seeing in like movies and everything like that, there's more to it than just that. And just I know like this is a kind of hot topic question nowadays because like Russia ain't doing some favors right now. But growing up, especially my uncle, who, if you ever saw him with his shirt off, you think he's a deathmatch wrestler because he was tortured in gulags and stuff. So he has like lash marks on his back and stuff like that. And he was very much a man who would tell me to like embrace the heritage, but like the good part of the heritage, and like you're more than just whatever stereotype you've seen. And I mean that's a part of like I got into wrestling, was to be like and be Dimitri Alexandrov to be more of like a positive like representation of a Russian wrestler at the time, because everyone you'd see, oh, it's the big Russian bear. Oh no, hammer and sickle. Holy crap, he's gonna sing the Soviet national anthem, some BS like that, And I just like things like that. I just wanted to be like, fuck it, there's more to it than just that, man. So, I mean, that's kind of how I'd say.
So, what did wrestling represent to you before it became a career? And was there anyone who made you believe that there was room for someone like you?
I would say still like my uncle was like the big supporter for me. My great uncle Ivan, he was the best. I love him so much. He was the one who inspired me actually to go and do it. My family was not very big on wrestling, and in fact, so growing up, a lot of times it was they let me watch it, but there's a lot of me hiding I was watching it. Like, how some kids be like, my parents didn't let me watch Beavis and Butthead. My parents didn't let me watch Ren and Stimpy, The Simpsons, some South Park, I couldn't watch like wrestling sometimes, especially when it got to like Attitude Era, because I'm like, I had to be like, Mom, don't look at the screen right now. I swear there's bra and panties matches and everything. It's kind of like that crap. But like wrestling for me longest time was just like this thing I really loved, and so long as I did all the things my family wanted me to do, I could kind of get way of liking it and stuff. And then when like growing up, I don't know if we talked about last time, I was pushed big into playing hockey, and I thought I was going to be a hockey player. I thought that was going to be my entire career. I thought, because junior year of high school, I'm getting scouted by Boston College and stuff like that for a full ride. And I thought that was going to be my life. And then I tore my Achilles tendon on my leg skateboarding. And after that, it was like my whole life had to change. And wrestling was still this thing I loved. But I was like, when I got better and stuff, I kind of was like, well, I don't have hockey now. I want to do this. And it kind of turned into that,
So, looking back, what do you think younger Dimitri was searching for, and what part of that person is still with you today?
Younger Dimitri was a dork. God bless him. He's a dork. I don't know. I'm still a dork, I guess. I just dork about different things now. I definitely was looking for confidence. That was a big thing for me. I think like I had confidence spurts, I'd like to say, in my life. Like if I got confidence from playing hockey because I was very good at it. And then when I lost that, I lost all my confidence again. And then like wrestling, I'd say has restored a newfound confidence in myself, and not just like when I'm wrestling, but like just in life in general. And it's given me this thing that I would say younger Dimitri was always looking for. And sometimes it comes out here and there, but like at the end of the day, the confidence wrestling has given me is something I am so grateful for, and I can't express that enough.
So, getting a little bit more into the wrestling, when did you first realize audiences had certain expectations of Russian characters in wrestling, and like the pressures that came with it?
Immediately graduating wrestling school, I definitely got the bit of the read that brother's name on a card here, because like, man, the first place I started wrestling was like Missouri and Oklahoma. I mean, right there alone, can you imagine what they say when you say, this fella, he's got one of them silly names, like that shit. So immediately, it's like, and that's something I've even expressed nowadays, especially why I prefer working bayface. I think it is so much harder to work as a foreign babyface than, say, a American-born babyface. I think it's easy being a foreign heel. I think it's too easy, and I like the challenge of winning over the Southern wrestling crowd with the Russian kid, and I think it's kind of funny, and that's it's a challenge I embrace fully.
So, why was it important for you to resist those stereotypes, and even if it made your path more difficult?
Definitely because of my family's, always hearing stories from my family. Let's get dark. You want to get dark? Let's get dark real quick.
Let's go.
My family are kulaks. If you don't know, that is the Russian middle class that existed right when the Russian Revolution happened, and they had a movement called the dekulakization, because when you're middle class, it was like you technically own some land, and the government didn't like you owning land. So one day, as my uncle would tell me, my great grandfather was in the farm. They were working. This truck pulled up. Some soldiers got out. They made the family get out of the house. They were trying to like say, you can't have this much. You can't take this stuff. It has to be part of the state. They told him that they're taking the farm. Alexei, my great grandfather, he said, no, I'm not doing that. And they shot him right in front of all the kids and my great uncle and my grandfather. And then they threw them all into a work camp. And I think a lot of it is, hearing all those stories about everything that's happened in my family. And it was like, the stereotypes that we see, the Rocky IV villain, the everything like that, the Ivan Koloff, all that shit, there's things that like people have seen, but like those same types of people were actually people my family did not like, which is, don't comrade me, brother. Come on now, that's not the same word, And I think like having that kind of heritage, along with this understanding of trying to be a better representation, is kind of like why I had to, and I had to do this, and I felt like I had to be more of myself, and it's also it's like when everyone says be a wrestling character, it's like you turned up to 11. With my own past experiences and how I was raised and growing up, that was me turned up to 11, was just being like a better representation, is what I thought to myself.
So, what does it feel like when you enter a room where people may have already judged you, and have you ever felt the need to work harder to earn their trust because of it?
1,000,000,000%. It is. It's like, all right, we're doing this. I'm gonna make you like me, asshole. Or you're at least gonna say that guy's crazy as shit. I respect that. So that's my that's when that happens. It's like, okay, Southern guy, I'm gonna make you cheer for me. Here we go.
So, can you describe a moment when a crowd went from skepticism to belief, and what that taught you about people in general?
Yes. I worked the show up in Paris, Texas, which, by the way, we have a Paris, Texas. we also have an Italy, Texas. Some silly ass names of little towns in Texas, but
There's a Paris, Maine.
I believe it's.
I don't know about anything in Mass though.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of our town names in Mass are the same as like countries or stuff in the UK.
Yeah. I think there's like a Newcastle. Is there a Newcastle? You guys have Newcastle, Massachusetts, or something like that? I don't know.
Maybe?
I think of any kind of like British town name, and I assume it's like somewhere on the East Coast. I really do.
Like we have I don't know how they pronounce it in the UK, but like we have a Leominster.
Leominster,
like,
okay.
But it's spelled like Leo Minster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't get it, but that's how we pronounce it.
Yeah. But yeah, let me go back to this. Paris, Texas came out to Chorus of Booze, had to for a bit there, or like just people were like, who's this guy, and the guy before me was like putting his heel boots on too, just trying to get heel reaction. So they like, I don't know if they thought it was going to be like a 3-way and it's just here's first 2 heels and then here's a bay face, whatever. As soon as they realized it was me and them, like, oh, okay, this is weird. A little bit of wrestling, did some work in the crowd, had a kid. We went outside. I made all the kids chop this guy and everything, threw me back in, cuts me off, whatever, put some heat on me. Got to a double down. And then afterwards, I made my fiery comeback. And this one guy who had been booing me since the beginning, just out of nowhere, yelled the following phrase, which has stuck with me for a while. Go foreign good guy. And that moment right there was validation, but also hilarious. So I don't know. I was like, yeah, I will. And it was but just imagine the go foreign good guy. It was like that crap. And funny as shit to me. I don't know, man.
That's great. All right.
I thought about making that a shirt at one time. I'm not gonna lie, I really did.
So if you could force every wrestling fan on earth to understand one thing about you instantly, what would it be?
One thing about me instantaneously? Oh man, I mean there's always kind of things, but like I have funny things I could say instantaneously. This guy's gonna smell good, or something. I don't know, something like that. This guy has nice hair. I don't know. I feel like instantaneously, I hope I give up that aura. I'd say, hopefully, I'm praying I do. Because I feel like everything else I can prove in the ring. It's definitely, I just want that, yeah, like this guy's gonna smell good, or something like that. I bet this guy likes his dog or something. I don't know.
If I'm remembering correctly, the first time that you were in Boston,
Yeah.
I was ringside. I didn't have seats for it. I was ringside. And I think you had like a spot that was right in front of me. I don't remember who you wrestled. I have bad memory like that.
Dale
But I think
Patricks.
like you had a spot right in front of me.
Yeah.
And within like maybe 15, 30 seconds after you had like moved away from me, I was like, yo, I think that's his shampoo. Like,
Sorry. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second.
you're fine.
All right. High five there. We need the victory lap. I'm sorry.
But then like a couple minutes later, like you had another spot in front of me. And you were just like laying there, and I was like, that is definitely this man's hair. I need to know what kind of shampoo he uses.
It's a secret. It's a combination of things. I'll say that. It's a lot of combination of things. I would have to bring out supplies. It'd be a minute. One of these days, I'll like here's everything, because it takes a lot of work to
Here's
have
the
this.
Dimitri Alexandrov hair care tutorial.
You know what? Is that a TikTok video I gotta make one day? I guess. I don't know.
I'd be down.
Right.
All right. So let's get a little bit into this Deathmatch Jesus persona. So, how did the persona come to life, and when did you realize it had become something bigger than just a nickname?
So the first time it happened was at Wrestle Rave's Death Triad 1. It was a three-way match between myself, Dale Patricks, and Sky de la Cremosa. And I went through a barbed wire board early on and tore off a piece that then stayed in my hair and looked like a halo on my head. And I went with that. I just went with it. And some people were like calling me Jesus right then and there. And I thought that was hilarious, and it was something what it was. But then I also was really good buddies with Ruben Steele. And Ruben was originally, he called himself that down here for a while, Deathmatch Jesus. And then, of course, Ruben had to retire and unretire a few times with injuries. And now he's unfortunately gone, retire again. But that was kind of like his moniker. And he's like, you should use it. I'm like, oh, maybe. Flash forward, I go to Mexico. And I had the barbed wire crown and everything. I went out there. And then they like unpromptedly started chanting Morte Cristo at me, like Death Christ at me. and they're cheering me like Morte Cristo and all that shit. And I was like, this has wings to it. I love it. So then I just said, fine, I'm Deathmatch Jesus. I'll do it.
So, why do you think people connected so strongly to that character?
I mean, I think it's just like there's some dark humor to it, maybe a little bit. And I already kind of gave off big Rasputin energy. I think that's another thing I give off already, So it just kind of like, it kind of made sense to fuse it together. But I think people just like, it's really recognizable of what I'm doing. And, you have a lot of long-haired beard guys in deathmatch and stuff like that. But, just trying to be different and trying to have more of like, an identity to it is kind of like I'd say. And it's just, I think it's just really recognizable and people like want to cheer for it. And it's sometimes really funny to yell "Go Jesus" at people and stuff like that.
So, what responsibilities or challenges come with carrying a persona that resonates so deeply with fans?
Definitely to not. I'll say this: I have come across fans who get a little miffed that I do kind of a Jesus character, but I've always tried to say as much as possible that I'm not doing it to be offensive. I do it solely for entertainment purposes, and it's never meant to be like a dig on anyone's or a personal attack on anyone's religious beliefs. And I think it's always me trying to show like I've just happened to kind of look like Jesus and I do death matches. And maybe I have some iconography and stuff. And I'm still Russian Orthodox, and it's still like it's still a part of everything. And I try to keep that element still in there too. But I think it's just at this point just trying to show people it's okay. Just cheer for me, guys. It's okay. It's not. I promise. It's not supposed to be offensive. It's okay. It's deathmatch wrestling. Let's have fun.
So I feel like that leads a little bit more into my next question, but
Ooh,
would you
yeah.
say that's like the biggest misconception about Deathmatch Jesus?
Yes, 1 trillion%. And I try to constantly say that because, like you said, it's a little bit of my heritage, a little bit of just like my natural looks. It's a little bit called back to Ruben because I love Ruben, and he was the guy who was big on my career, especially early on in my deathmatch career. It's a lot of those things, and it's not the offensive thing, guys. Calm down. I think that's the big misconception at this point.
So how much of yourself exists within your character?
A lot. I think so. I think a lot at this point, as people say, you're so friendly outside the ring, and then you're kind of a psychopath in the ring. I'm like, I guess that's kind of me. I Similarly, when I played hockey, I was a kind of a menace. I was a menace, and then outside I'd be smiles and jump up and down. As people say, you're just like the happiest. Are you the happiest angry person in the world, or the angriest happy person? I can't figure it out about you. And so I think myself does tend to lend into my character a bit. Just I'm having fun doing everything, and I think I get a lot of fun out of the violence. Maybe a little too much, but that's just kind of who I am.
So do you believe that you created the character, or was it something that the audience kind of created for you?
I think they pushed me towards it. I think it was more of like, because longest time I was just always, I was the bear fighter. I always put over that because I'm gonna fight bears and stuff like that. It's kind of who I used to be when I first broke in, and then when that kind of happened and things are pushing me in that direction, I was like, all right, the audience, you kind of pick your own adventure kind of game here. So I guess this is what we're leaning more towards.
And so if Deathmatch Jesus had to work a normal 9 to 5 office job, what position would he somehow get fired from within the first week?
Can I pull some real life into this?
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
So I when I first started doing death matches, I was working 9 to 5 office job. I had to have my hair all the way but slicked back and everything, and a bun and all that stuff. And the beard was a little more trimmed. But I think the night after I did my first death match, I had to hide the fact that I had like the skewers from Masada in my forehead because that was my first death match was Masada, and I had hair slicked back. You're trying to hide, but you have these holes and slashes because he kind of gets you with these too. So it's just like, yeah, man, I got hit in the face with a tree branch. It just flung back and hit me in the face. All these excuses, and I think like a year later, I did the Peril one where I went through all the glass and I had another big gash on my head, and I had to be like, "Yeah, cat got me in the face. I don't know what happened there, man. Jeez, some crazy shit." So, um, I worked as a land management for a natural gas company, and that's the job that I definitely got. When they were let go of me, I like to think it's because I had a lot of weird excuses or coming in late because of shows and stuff like that. So definitely some silly office job. I'll say that because I've had other jobs where they're totally cool with it, but that office job just questioned anything that happened to my face. It seemed like so.
All right. So you could have gone any route in wrestling, but you chose to go the deathmatch route. So what about deathmatch wrestling allows you to express yourself more than traditional wrestling?
Think that it allows me to be a little more creative with some stuff. I do like normal wrestling. I really do. I love, especially like I love the King's Road and all that stuff. I love that all the head drops and everything like that. It's fantastic to me. But I think deathmatch lends itself in a way of like these moments that you can really make. I think some people that gets lost on some people too. I think you really need to make those moments right before the big crazy spots, and it kind of completes the package. And I love that. I love that element of still like you're building this thing up to be this horrible thing that's gonna happen, and then when you pay it off, because you built it up so much, I think the crowd can just be like this moment of terror. So I don't know. I really, really love that element of deathmatch. It kind of like it is the horror movie genre of wrestling. And I love a good horror movie, and building the suspense and drama up for the big like vicious kill, and everything like that. I love that deathmatch wrestling is that genre of wrestling within wrestling.
And I feel like you just answered my next question with that.
Did I? Oops.
So, beyond the physical aspect, what emotional or personal need does deathmatch wrestling fulfill for you?
Yeah, yeah. What else did it fulfill for me is that I am an adrenaline junkie. I am well aware of that. I don't do anything else. I am just a crazy adrenaline junkie when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I think that it really feeds that part of me. It might be not a great thing to say out loud, but I think that I get so excited for these crazy moments that happen. And if you ask anyone, especially for like with the No Holds Bar guys or like any deathmatch show I've been to, when I get done with the match, they like, why are you so like hype? You're so excited to do more and everything. It's like, yeah, I am. That's why I'm like, put me in the deathmatch tournaments. I'll do multiple one day, and I think it's so much fun. I get this high off of it, I guess. I don't know.
So, what have pain, fear, and suffering taught you about yourself that success never could?
I think it's good to have a healthy relationship with fear, and because it does still add like it adds good elements to wrestling still to have that fear of things, and it does build a natural sense of excitement out of you, and it can make moments bigger. um Pain, man, I don't know. I've now realized that I have this tolerance for pain, this crazy threshold for pain. Maybe that's telling me something about myself I don't need to know. But uh man, I don't know. I think like those things have taught me out over success is just to like respect them in a way, and to like truly like embrace those like emotions and like those feelings when they come, because it will make everything much more like when you do get the success, it'll make it even bigger.
So, have you ever genuinely been scared before a death match?
Nervous, I'd say nervous. Yeah, I guess so. I like maybe my first glass one with Pero, because we knew we were working towards this choke slam off of a stage through like light tubes and a bear trap door and stuff like that. It was all like that, and I was a little nervous about that. And then it didn't help that when I got choke slam off the stage, I kind of missed a little, and I completely got knocked out for 13 seconds. So it kind of, here's the thing. I think a lot of people would use that as like, oh, now I have more bigger fear of making these jumps now, like, but I think it did the opposite effect. um Now
I was
I
like,
am
no,
like,
now I know how to do it. I fucked it up once. I'm not going to do it again.
yeah. Well, I'd say there was also some user of aiming by someone else, but I will leave it at that. But um it definitely it definitely was. Now I want to make sure to do it the correct way every time now. And I was pretty nervous about, I mean, when we eventually got to like talking about that spot, I think I got pretty nervous, but I don't know if it was full on fear until I was in midair. That's when full on fear probably hit me.
Okay, so what keeps drawing you back to deathmatch wrestling?
Um, I think now at this point it is, I can keep like I want to do it better and better. I think like I'm really like like all my wrestling taste, it's always Japanese wrestling. It always has been, and that it also includes Japanese deathmatch. And when I see some of the big matches there, they get me so excited. Like when I watch like a Takeda match or a Junkusai or a Suji Ishikawa match, and these guys, I'm just like, I want to do like that kind of shit. And it just like now a big part of me is like I want to keep going back to it because I want to show that kind of style, but in America. Because I see guys like I think Eric Dillinger. I think Shook does it really well. I think John can do it really well. I think that, oh my god, Eric Ryan does it really well. They can do this kind of like merging the two styles together thing, and I like now my head is like I want to see emulate that thing. I want to try and be on that kind of level with these guys that can kind of do the marrying the American and Japanese style death match together, and I think it's awesome and beautiful, and it gets me excited. So now I keep going back to it now because I'm like, I'm chasing that. I'm chasing that high that I would get from watching those matches. So it's just now I want to experience it, not just watch it. I want to be there in that moment.
And even with the Japanese matches and stuff, we're getting more of like stipulations that are more prominent in Japanese past now in America, what
Yes.
we didn't get the chance to see in the past in person, and now it's even cooler. Like with all the exploding or just exploding ropes or exploding barbed wire matches in general nowadays, like
I want to do one so bad. So bad.
I want to see one so bad, but unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to happen in Boston.
Stranger Things. I know the Sonya has some limitations, but it's Stranger Things.
I mean, hey, they allow the scissor bat.
They do allow the scissor bat. They do. You're not wrong there.
So, do you think deathmatch wrestling has changed who you are as a person outside of the ring?
No, I don't think so, actually. I think it has. The only thing it's done for me outside the ring is I already liked it growing up. I did. It wasn't necessary. I didn't think I was going to do it when I went to wrestling school, but when it came my way and the opportunity approached itself and I said, yeah, let's do it. I think that like I was a Mick Foley mark. I was a nuclear Mick Foley mark. I was already a nuclear like Hayabusa Masato Tanaka mark. And I was like, I love those guys. And getting to experience it, what it did give me a even bigger respect for it than I already had. I was already like the kid in wrestling school who had to be like, no, deathmatch is good. And everyone else in my school was like, it's terrible. It's the shit wrestling. Oh. And you fucking hear that shit all the fucking time. And I was the one guy defending it. And now that I've done it and I've started making a career out of it, I respect it even more. You know, I always liked it. Now I really respect the shit out of it. So I don't think it's changed me. I'm still the happiest angry person in the world if you want to be that guy.
So, what is something people think they understand about deathmatch wrestling that they're completely wrong about?
When it's done its best, it's actually still has a lot of wrestling involved in it. I think there's still a big wrestling element to a lot of it, and I think a lot of people think that these people can't wrestle. And then I hate to now. There's beautiful. I'll say this in the last few years, some options have come up. You know, like we just saw Jonathan Gresham work a death match with Takeda for TOS, and I thought that was awesome. That match was so good, and it was. And even he has this he would do it again because he respects it, and I love that already. And he's like, there's a lot of wrestling involved in it, but like not just that match, but go watch didn't we just have New Japan have Best of Super Juniors and they had fucking Kasai in the whole tournament and he's like wrestling in the tournament and stuff? Like, I think a lot of conception is people think that deathmatch wrestlers aren't good wrestlers, and that's just like good deathmatch wrestlers are very good wrestlers, and that's something that people always until. I don't know. I guess you'd have to make deathmatch wrestling really mainstream, I guess, for them to not say that. But even then it loses a bit of its charm at that point. So I don't know, man. You're gonna have the fucking 5 people who are gonna comment on a Instagram post saying, "This isn't wrestling. They got paid a hot dog and a handshake for this, didn't they?" And I'm like, oh, shut up. Please shut up.
Yeah, exactly. And me and my fiance were just watching back the No Holds Barred shows from Japan.
Yeah.
And Neil Diamond Cutter and Jun Kasai, the whole like first 5 minutes of the match, they're full blown wrestling. Like
Yes.
that pisses me off that people don't see that.
I love that. I love that match, and I really like the Bear and Takeda match from the
That
episode
match was
prior. Those so good, so good, so good. I love it.
all right. So let's be honest. What is more terrifying to you, a death match or a death match, or hearing a "we need to talk" with absolutely no context?
We need to talk is way scarier. Holy crap! Hey, get a hey. We need to talk. Message is like,
What did I do? Oh my
holy
goodness.
fuck.
Thinking
That's
back everything you did in the past 6 months.
years. It's just like I'm questioning everything about everything at that point.
Okay.
Oh, that is. I just saw. I got the ick thinking about.
All right. So let's get a little bit into the moments of your career that still stick with you. What wrestling moment or crowd reaction has stuck with you the longest, and why do you feel that?
Took me the longest. The one that stick. Damn, there's a lot of good things. It sucks that like right now, when I go and I think about this, I do think about the Cork and Hall show, doing the first Cork and Hall. That was amazing, just because it's Cork and Hall. It was full. It was a full Cork and Hall, and I'm in the ring with I'm in that tag match against Takeda and stuff, and I'm like, that's just like this moment of like the crowd is hearing for it and everything, and I think that's sick as shit. Outside of that, that was just cool because it was my debut in Japan. But then like I think back at other things like it's little small things. Inspire Pro Wrestling when I won the title from Janela. That was really cool as hell. It was a huge pop because no one thought that was going to happen, and that's one that sticks out to me. It's little things though, but I feel like the more I do wrestling in the more years, hell, I've done 11 years now. It's crazy to say that out loud, but like the more years I get into wrestling, I'm sure something overtakes whatever I said was the biggest one beforehand, and what's that is, and that is, and it's just like I think it's a healthy mentality to have like this kind of like I want to see the next big thing, to hang on to. Maybe not so much some past stuff. There's some matches I always want to like have close to my heart, but those moments and those reactions that are just going to keep coming, and I have to keep climbing the ladder more and more for those things is how I view it.
So looking back, what is an example of something that the fans celebrated that maybe mattered a little bit less to you than people might think, or vice versa, something that the fans may have seen small but mattered a lot to you in the moment?
Japan did, but I keep saying that. I think that was one of them, but the big ones for me was like really debuting for ICW. I mean, they view that as a little thing, but or sorry, NHB no. Making that debut was the big one for me, just because it was a long time coming. There was a few setbacks that thankfully never got announced, but they almost happened way sooner, and that was a cool thing to say, that they almost happened a few different times before that. But I think it took nearly 3 years after I was supposed to debut the first time for me to actually show up there, and when it finally happened, it's like it was. Some people are like, oh yeah, it's there, but it meant a lot to me. It did. So.
Is there a conversation or maybe a moment of acceptance or a memory that still reminds you why you started wrestling in the first place when things get rough?
Yeah, there was a kid actually at a show years ago. It was probably 20. No, it's right after COVID. It was after COVID, so 2021. At a show here in Austin, the kid came up, and his family were all Russian Ukrainian immigrants, and they have been to my shows multiple times, but they said that oh, it's really cool for our son to have like a wrestler he likes that's kind of like a representation. And I thought that was something that really mattered a lot to me and literally made me cry, and it was something that like I think back on sometimes when I'm like, oh, am I doing enough? Do I matter and stuff like this in wrestling? And that's such arbitrary things to think about sometimes. But then you think about like connections you make with fans, like the kids, and like people say you inspire me and stuff like that, and that's something that I always I'm gonna think about.
What is a compliment that you have received that still randomly pops in your head years later?
Trevor Murdoch of all people.
Okay.
Constantly said that I reminded him of weirdly enough of Shane Hayes, who now is the GHC heavyweight champion. But he always said, "Oh, you move and you act like him," and I thought that was a cool compliment. But it was like the most random compliment to get in like it's like 2015 or 2016. He told me that, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that."
Was there ever a moment where you finally felt accepted exactly as you are?
I think that it's. I think in the last, like 5 years, I truly feel accepted. Like even before I started doing death matches, but then I think after even doing death matches, getting the please come back chants, getting the everything from thank you so much chants and everything, every time I go somewhere and I get kind of like some kind of recognition of like we love this, please come back again. I think it's just this moment of like I'm doing this right. I think I'm doing this good. I think I'm on the right path kind of thing. And that's what's right now. That's just the big things I search for at this point.
So, what part of yourself are you most proud of today, and what parts are you still working to improve?
The thing I'm most proud of is the fact that I actually decided to like just pull the trigger and get into wrestling. That is something to this day I say like I had so many. I should have got into it a little bit sooner. I always say that, like especially after as soon as I was out of the hockey boot, I should have just done it right then and there, And I'm proud of myself for just like even that moment when I said I had no confidence anymore to then jump into this to get it back. I'm proud of myself for things. I wish though, I wish I wouldn't care what people thought sometimes. I wish I would just kind of go about it how I want to be in wrestling and perceived in wrestling and like not letting anyone else kind of try to drive anything my way. But I do sometimes always seek acceptance sometimes, even from like maybe not the best people. And that's something that I need to just be like, I need to go my own route. I need to go my own path and not let things bother me so much.
Absolutely. So, what gives you peace away from wrestling, and what might surprise people about who you are outside of the ring?
Peace and outside of wrestling, like I coming home and seeing my dog. I love Hector. He's the best. He's getting old as hell, and that makes me nervous because he's a lot of my peace. I am such a dog person. I don't know wrestlers. I feel like that's obvious. Do I give off that I'm a dog person? I feel like I do. I feel like I really give off I'm a dog guy.
Yeah.
So that one's not something surprising, I'd say. You know, I there's days I just need to unplug from everything. Like everyone's like, you gotta post every day. You gotta get in the algorithm every day. And for me, it's like I need to unplug some days and just like sit and not worry about anything else, and like just like realize that today is this non-wrestling day after a long weekend. Let's just breathe and put the phone down and kind of exist in the moment. I don't know. I think at this point in my life, I do feel like everyone kind of figured me out a little bit, but at the same time, I want people to know that I'm here to look at some really dark humor and to relax for a bit. That's me.
So, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave beyond wrestling?
I want to be that guy that just like. So I talk about this a lot. Once I'm done wrestling, I still want to train people. I really want to be a trainer, and I know that's weird to say coming from a deathmatch guy, but I also really do want to like inspire people and help push people in the directions they want to go. I'm not going to train everyone to be deathmatch wrestlers. If they want to be deathmatch wrestler, that's their own choice. But I want to be someone who is looked at fondly for helping people and for helping people have like the courage and strength to be like chase their dreams and do this stuff, because I constantly like think about how the people in my life that have helped push me towards these things and obtain my own dreams. I want to be that kind of person for everyone. Young wrestlers. I want to be someone who has, oh, he was always nice to me, and like I just want to be that guy who, yes, great wrestler, but also just like a good person, and also a guy who helped train people. That's all. That's something I want to do. I want to be that guy who can be that like positive role model for so many young people.
All right. So we've talked enough about wrestling and stories, but let's get into knowing who Dimitri is outside of the ring.
Hell yeah.
So, if your friends had to roast you for 5 straight minutes,
I love this already.
what topics are they immediately attacking?
What topics are they immediately attacking? They're gonna talk about the fact that I don't know, I feel like I eat really boring food sometimes. I feel like I eat the same 5 things all the time. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm not the worst in wrestling. I've met the worst, and I work for him. I've met some really bad picky eaters in wrestling, but I think they
All right, all
bear
right.
a little bit on that.
If we're talking picky eaters and you're saying you're a boring eater, what kind of sauce are you taking your chicken tenders with?
Buffalo only.
Okay, all right. You're better than John Wayne Murdoch. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
see, all right. Listen. I want to roast them right now. John and Danny, I've heard some of the stuff they eat and don't eat, and I'm like, brother, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But I feel like I'm only barely above both of them. So
Like, I remember when I had John Wayne on for an episode, I'd asked him like the fast food question. And he was like, "Oh, and we're getting chicken nuggets or chicken tenders." I don't remember where he said we were going. And I was like, "Okay, cool. What kind of sauce are we getting?" He goes, "Absolutely not. No sauce. Fuck that." I'm like, "What?"
now I must admit, I am not a condiment guy. I'm usually just a hot sauce guy. That's my thing. So I'm not a ketchup guy. I'm not a mustard guy. I'm not relish. Uh, don't hate me. Don't hate me. Not a
See,
hot dog guy.
I like ketchup. I like ketchup, but mustard and relish, you can stay the fuck away.
Yeah, no, I'm not any of those guys. Not a mayonnaise guy.
Nope.
Not a tartar sauce. Not
Nope.
a. I guess I like soy sauce. Soy sauce is
Yeah.
okay. Soy sauce is cool.
Soy
Uh,
sauce, duck sauce.
duck sauce is good. Yeah, duck sauce is great. Yeah, yeah. I'm fine
All
with some
right.
stuff. I'm fine with some stuff. There's just some things. I think everyone roasts me on that, and I think another thing they roast me on is uh, how much of a procrastinator I can be sometimes in a day. I'm just like I am very much a very fashionably late guy on things, because I believe I can get places faster than I can actually. Because I will leave like I had to be somewhere at 8. Don't worry, guys. I'll leave at 7:55. I'll get there. Don't. I'm that kind of guy.
All right. So you wake up tomorrow and discover that you are legally required to
Oh
become an
no.
expert in something completely useless. What are you choosing?
Oh, some is it something I already know, or is it something just anything?
Anything.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. I don't know. God, useless shark facts probably, because I do have those in my head. I just can give you. Don't take me to an aquarium. I'm that guy. I will just randomly like because I grew up as a kid who just would just like read animal books for just useless fucking knowledge. I was just like it was a lot of marine biology books as a kid. I just read things. You can see that one's a boy and that one's a girl. Why do you know that? Well, and then stuff like that, man. Useless aquarium animal facts. That's what I would say.
All right. A mysterious wizard offers you one power: to speak every language on Earth, to never need sleep ever again, or to summon one talking raccoon whenever you want. Which one are you taking and why?
But okay, so let's break these down. I'll break down all three. Hold on, we're gonna have fun here. So the wrestler in me says all the languages because it makes it a lot easier to do some international stuff, right? And also, you automatically have jobs like an interpreter right there. I just made some money. See, that's the person in me. Never needing sleep, horrible idea. I feel like I'm I'm already like a manic person. Hopefully, that makes me less manic. I would just do tons of things or not do things. I don't know. It would be something weird like that. And then my question is, do I get to choose the accent the raccoon talks in? Because I feel like that could be really funny if it had like a real Brooklyn accent. I don't know why. That's for the sake of everything, I will choose the language. It seems very useful, the every language thing. But I have to play with the raccoon thing. That's just hilarious.
As soon as you said that, I just immediately think of the raccoon from I'm blanking right now. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Rocket, yeah. If it sounds like Bradley Cooper doing the accent, that's kind of like I don't know, maybe I would choose that one at that point.
All right. So let's get a little bit more unhinged.
Fuck.
If you could fist fight any public figure in history and there be absolutely zero consequences, who are you choosing and why?
I feel like the obvious answer is like Adolf Hitler, but can I choose like a child version of him?
Whatever you want to pick.
Him at like age like 12, just because it sounds really funny to punch child Hitler. I don't know. It just sounds really funny. I don't know. There's a few people. Andrew Jackson, President Andrew Jackson. He's kind of a dickhead. He's a dickhead to Native Americans. I kind of want to punch him. I don't know. God, I gotta pick a funnier one, like King Tut or something. He's also a kid though, so I'd kick his ass. I don't know.
All right. So you have to now spend an entire year trapped inside the mind of one wrestler.
Oh God.
You hear their every thought, you see their every sight. Who are you choosing and who would you absolutely fucking avoid?
See, I want to pick the funniest one now because I want to know what goes through the mind of like Schlack. I don't know why. I gotta know in his inner thoughts of like, yeah, no, just I'm gonna eat this and just things like that. But then I think of like Abdullah Kobayashi because he's just a fucking cartoon character of a human being. Like he is a goofball the entire time. He's just over there just like doing the funniest shit in the world. Who do I avoid? Fuck, I don't know. Like probably
Danny DeMonto.
Danny's gonna have Danny thoughts.
I'm kidding.
Danny's gonna have Danny thoughts. Ian Rotten,
Danny
I'd avoid.
knows.
Ian Rotten, that's who I'd avoid. God, that piece
Danny
of shit.
knows I love him. It's okay.
Danny's just gonna be like, I have to eat steak right now. I can't do this. Oh God, we're in Japan. What's ramen? That's scary. I don't eat that. Sushi, I don't eat that. God, I can't. That's what it's gonna say.
We're going to the steakhouse every night.
Man, every night they did. That's what they all told me. There's like Joel Bateman told me, he's like, I fucking ate log fucking 20 pounds of meat while I was there. I was only there for fucking 8 days. I'm just
I can only imagine. Like, I hope Vixen is breaking him out of his culinary shell.
She's a good cook, and I feel like I feel like if there's anyone, it's her to break him. I would say that. So I think she's got him. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
A genie appears and says, I will make you the greatest wrestler who ever lived, but every chair you sit in for the rest of your life is slightly wet. Are you taking the deal?
Yes, I will take that deal. Begrudgingly, I will take that deal. Wet. God damn, it's like sitting in a lawn chair, or like you have a friend has like a patio chair. It rained like 2 days ago, and yet it still has a little bit in there, and you're just like,
You motherfucker.
you motherfucker. I'll do it though. It's for the greater good.
All right. This is my personal favorite.
Okay, what you
You are
got?
now forced to start a deathmatch themed boy band. You and 3 other members who are deathmatch wrestlers that are of your choosing. And I want to know what the group name is and which one of you is the first to cause a public scandal.
Okay, four of us all together.
Yeah, so you and 3 other deathmatch
Okay,
wrestlers.
just because it's funny. Jameson Shook. Just because, come on, look at him. He would fit in. He's not a death match wrestler, but he does death matches. Can that count? Someone I know?
I'll take it.
I'll throw Jane Newman in there too, just because it'd be
Okay.
funny as shit. It'd be funny as shit. And then we got to pick the bad boy. Not Joey Janela, but the bad boy of the group, which is definitely going to be
I
the
hate
one.
that a name immediately popped in my head.
Yeah, I know. We got to pick the bad boy band member. Why do I want to say redacted? Just because it's funny. The
I
man
mean,
does
that's a
not.
better answer than what popped in my head.
I was just gonna like redacted, and his big controversy is he accidentally hit an elderly person with the trash can. I'm just gonna say that. Oh, for the sake of the bits and my love for like silly South Park and stuff, instead of faith plus one, we're death plus one.
Hell
And I
yeah.
think it's extra because wasn't that the Christian boy band that Eric Cartman was in? Faith plus one, so we're death plus one. That'd be funny.
And I mean, it kind of fits because although Jaden's technically not a deathmatch wrestler, he does death matches. So it kind of, he's like the plus
Yeah,
one.
he's the plus one. Yeah.
All right. If you could learn the answer to any one mystery, what would it be? Whether it be Bigfoot, Atlantis, the pyramids, anything. What do you want to finally find out?
You said Bigfoot, and that's where my brain went instantaneously, which is funny. But just because of like, what's a fun one? Something really wild. Probably, man, Bigfoot being real or knowing if Bigfoot's real or not is cool. But I feel like that one, I get okay. I have answered anything, right? Anything.
Anything.
Oh fuck! Who built the pyramids? I think.
Or so you can't say aliens because we already kind of know they're real.
That's true. That's true. It's got to be like.
Like, I mean, I don't want to cross any lines, but if you want to hit conspiracy theories, I'm down.
Okay. Yeah. Who killed JFK? That's what I want to know.
See, I want to know who killed Marilyn Monroe.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
Because I don't, no way in hell is that suicide.
No.
No
No,
way.
not at all. Not at all. No. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I when you start thinking stuff like that, that's kind of where I would go towards it because I'll like cryptids. You kind of it's probably already out there. The answer, if you truly think about it, things like that, But like celebrity deaths and people's deaths, and you have no idea who killed them. That's the stuff. That's the stuff.
Or like the ones are like who faked their deaths, who are still alive, who's really dead.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw the documentary on the one the hotel where that girl did the little like elevator thing.
Yes.
And then she ended up in the retainment tank on top of the roof,
Yes.
and no one knows what fucking happened to her. That's something that'd be kind of cool to know like that. Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know.
Who killed Brittany Murphy? That one's that recently. That does some recent stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say her and her husband.
That's true. He died too.
Yeah, of the same exact thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the dude from Lincoln Park, Chester,
No,
and
Chester. Yeah.
Chris Cornell. Is that his name?
Uh, don't
I
quote
could
me
be
on that.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm not for sure familiar with that one immediately. But yeah. Some stuff like that. Yeah.
But yeah, like stuff like that.
The mystery.
Or who the fuck was involved in the Epstein files? I want to know that.
Okay, yeah, I can't even think about that one at all. Just give me the full list. Give me everything. Just put it
Yeah,
all out
dude.
there. Yeah, fuck it. There we are.
All
Done.
right.
Print. Send it. Right there. There's my answer. I just want to
All
know
right.
everything on there.
So you are now given a time machine,
Oh
but you can
no.
only use it once. Witness any human event in history or go back and relive one day of your own life. Which are you choosing?
Only one day. Oh fuck. God damn.
Oh, I was right. Gypsy commented Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and Audio Slave. I was
That's
right.
it. Thank you. God, what are these? I gotta think about this real quick.
You could use that as a chance to go back and punch Adolf Hitler in the face as a 12-year-old.
True, it's true. I mean, like I've already said, I would punch Child Hitler because it's really funny. It's fucked up, but it's funny. I mean, that would change. That would be a lot. I feel like when you do big things like that, yeah, probably something like that. Like just go back in time and push him off like a ledge or something. I don't know. Then what happens to the world? What things happen if you do something like that? Oh, goodbye. That never happened now, or something else happening in its place. Who knows? You have to like that kind of stuff is like the butterfly effect kind of stuff is kind of like where you start wondering what would happen. Like there's always that one. Was it the Treehouse Horrors episode of The Simpsons where he like sneezes and all the dinosaurs are dying? And he's like, hopefully this doesn't do anything bad. It does something horrible.
All right. Every human being on Earth must now follow one new law that you have created. What is the law?
Stop backing into parking spots. Oh my God, I am so tired of this, especially in like just standard parking spots. I have no idea why it bothers me. I don't mind when people do their driveways. That's different. But it's just when someone drive past spot and they try to almost back into you. Every time. Texas is terrible about it. It infuriates me. So new law, that is illegal and punishable by death.
All right. So you wake up tomorrow and you are somehow the new world leader. You were not elected, you were not chosen, you are just in charge. What is the first thing you do? Instate that law.
Instate No, I would say this is where I do things like that would just be personal things. Hockey is now a sport in every school. It's things like this I would just implement out of nowhere. I would shark fishing's banned all worldwide, shit like that. We have officially a day called Dog Day where you're just nice to dogs. These are things that just come out of nowhere, and people should now have to have at least some kind of dipping sauce with their chicken strips. Sorry, John. So,
all right. And I know I asked you this on the last one, but it is still one of my favorite questions to ask, and it may have changed. You are now stuck on a road trip coming back up to Massachusetts, but you're driving. That sucks. And you can only listen to 5 bands or artists along the way. Who are we listening to?
Can't remember how I chose the last time, but I'm gonna go.
I don't either.
I'll still do some stuff. Poppy's definitely on there. I love Poppy. It's my theme song, everything like that. I have to choose that. I have to. Let's see. Let's go through these real quick. Poppy's definitely one. Choosies. It's artists, not like genre, right? So it's like, crap. Because I would just put on some like these 90s road beats at that point. I feel like, because I don't know. I'm putting on like podcasts and stuff at this point now. I'm trying to think. I'm like, this is like last podcast on the left. I do something like that just to listen to, or like some freaking was it Aaron Mankey had that one creepy one called Lore, something like that I'd listen to. But like, if we're having to strictly artist, it's probably Poppy. It's probably the Russian rap group Basta. I love them a lot. I would probably still put in something like System of a Down. I still love them. I've always loved System of a Down. It's just one of those bands. And oh my god, I'm probably playing. God, I gotta think now. This question killed me last time too.
Yes,
and I'm like, I'm trying to like, because I like more and more. If like pull up Spotify for a second, real quick. My Spotify makes no sense. It is this most jumbled up whatever I'm listening to. It is some of the like the craziest shit. Like sometimes, there's an artist that makes sense, and then it's like, why are you listening to Japanese city pop? What is this shit? Oh, and there's some death metal. And then it's like, what the fuck are you doing? So, God, I'd probably say you're killing me with this every time. I got 3. I'll do one. I'll do 2 more. Mola Data from Russia. They do post-punk stuff. I love them. And I'd say probably just to fill the void, listen to some punk, so probably something like just Rancid. That'd be cool. I'd listen to some Rancid.
Yeah.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
And I understand the whole playlist jumping around.
Doesn't make any sense anymore. I think Spotify ruined what I like listen to. It's all over the place. I have so many of my saved songs, but I'm just like, what is this? This makes no sense.
I use YouTube Music. And they like create like a super mix from like based off all of the music that you like search up and listen to.
Yeah.
And it goes from like Falling in Reverse to EDM to Suicide Boys to A Day to Remember to Kid Cudi to Fall Out Boy to Alex Warren to Black Bear. Like it goes all over the place. There's some country mixed in there. Like whatever the fuck I'm feeling that day just randomly gets thrown in there, but it's more like the rock side than anything.
Yeah. Oh man,
like
it throws you off, you know, like all these music app things, you know, it's cool because like I definitely remember like having just like a iPod back in the day when I was young, like kid, and just having to like, you know, download legally songs and then put them on there, you know, everything like that using whatever I had at the time. But like,
yeah, I don't know what LimeWire or FrostWire is or any of those things.
Yeah.
All right. So I usually do have one more segment, and I usually ask about it before I go live, but I suck, and this is the second episode in a row where I've forgotten to. So I have a segment that I like to call Promo Roulette, and it is a little segment where I ask you to shoot a promo on the fly on a random cartoon character.
Character.
Yes. So I get to choose the cartoon character, though.
Okay, which cartoon character you got?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming this is a yes. You want to participate.
Let's fucking do it. Let's just fucking go.
Right.
Let's fucking go.
We're hopping in. We're doing promo fucking roulette. Where's my music?
Where is it?
There we go. I love that music. I will play it every chance I get.
I love that that's a thing. I love this. Okay, hell yeah.
All right. So I want to pick someone that you're at least familiar with.
Okay.
So throw me some cartoons or some shows that you were into growing up or just now.
Growing up, see, like I'm trying to think. It's like a lot of Nickelodeon in my head. Just like most of the old Nickelodeon Nicktoon stuff, like Rocco, Ren Stimpy, Cat Dog, Rugrats, all that shit's in there. And then I watched, like, when I got older, I guess I watched, I watched a little bit of like the anime and stuff, Dragon Ball Z, things like that, Gundam, stuff like that. So Naruto, things like that I watched when I was younger.
I've learned my lesson to stay away from anime characters because I slaughter their names.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate that.
I mean, if it's an anime that I know, I'm all good with it. Like, I know
Sure,
Demon
sure.
Slayer, I can say Rengoku, no problem. We're good with
Okay.
that. But yeah, no, I made the mistake of picking a character from One Piece for my friend Kylon, and I slaughtered the name, and he
What
laughed at
character?
me. Um, I'm probably gonna slaughter it again. I believe it was Naito or Nato. I said it wrong, and he laughed at me for like a solid 5 minutes, and I was like, "Great,
Amazing.
thanks."
Tetsuya Naito is my favorite One Piece character. Nah.
All right. Again, there's no inspiration in this goddamn room.
Simpsons. I watched Family Guy growing up. A lot of those cartoons.
I
Octeon,
had
of course.
somebody shoot a promo on Chris Griffin like last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna go that route.
Okay, what you got?
I'm gonna have you shoot a promo. Oh god, no, that's really bad. I can't do that.
Oh, I'm terrified here. I don't know what you're thinking of here.
I was going to go one way, but I'm gonna go a different way, and we're gonna go with Quagmire.
Quagmire, right?
Well, I was gonna like random background character popped in my head, and I was like, "Yeah, this will work." And then I was like, "Oh wait, never mind. No, that does not work."
Okay. So Quagmire from Family Guy. Yeah.
Quagmire is what we're going with.
Okay. Quagmire. I'm pulling up a picture just to remind myself of this bastard looks like. Okay. So just Family Guy, Quagmire. Is this? Are we going like? Do we have a date and time for this or venue or anything like that?
Whatever you'd want to come up with.
Okay, it's a death match, so just let this
You've creative freedom. It's all up to you.
Beautiful. All right, here we go. All right, let me go. There's a lot of crazy people out in this world who want to have this feeling and joy, this thrill of life. Sometimes they get it from experiences. Some people get it from lustful encounters. That's you, Quagmire. You needle dick bastard. Listen, I have seen the horrible things you've done to women, or you've done horrible things to them. Just turn them like trash and everything, treat them like animals for your own sick pleasure. And this Saturday, you're not going to escape this, as you're going to be in a light tube prison match, and the loser gets their dick cut off with a light tube. Your dick, that needle dick of yours, Quagmire. Listen, you live next to the Griffins, but not after this Saturday. After this Saturday, you're going to live in a cemetery. You fucking fuck. Pray for death.
There we are. Well, thank you for that. That was great.
You're welcome.
I've been getting better and better promos on this, and it's great.
Trying to. I was just like, all right, I'm on the fly. What am I doing here? I guess this is what we're going with.
I did Quagmire for you, and I picked Gaston for my guest earlier this afternoon. And
it's a hell of a feud there. Gaston's a hell of a man. He's got how you win that match.
It was great, and I guess that match is going to be on Beast and Belle's front lawn at the castle.
Oh, amazing! I love it.
All right. With that being said, we do still have that 8x10 giveaway. So I'm going to reach into the bag next to me and pick a random photo. And I'm doing it a little different this time. There is no code word. So the first person to message me on our social medias that are on the banner above us, as soon as we go off air, don't message me just yet, although my phone's right here. I ain't gonna look at it until we end this. But with that being said, while I'm grabbing the photo, Dimitri, where can we find you in the next coming weeks? And if you are not in our area, where can we find you on social media?
Thank you so much. In next coming weeks, of course, this next coming weekend, I will be at Russell Rave in Porter, Texas. I'll be doing that show there, working against Travis Cuddy, little shithead. um, later this month, I will be at in Austin, Texas for New Texas Pro Wrestling for their special show they're doing at Holy Moly. It's a 6-man tag match with 2 mystery partners, so we'll see who those are. And then in July, my God, I am a psychopath. I have, of course, I'll be in Chattanooga both nights for No Holds Barred in chat. It's going to be fantastic. Wrestling Angel Metro on night 1. So that'll be crazy little death match right there. And then night 2 to be announced right now. Don't want to give it away yet, but I have a fun opponent for night 2. And then I'm back immediately after those shows, fly back to Austin, Texas to wrestle for Death in the Family as they're doing a show in San Antonio. It's going to be wild. Then I'm going back to Chattanooga, and I'm going to be living there, it feels like, for like 4 days doing the SCI. I'll be doing on night 0 for Jameson Shook show. And then, of course, I'll be doing the 2 nights of the tournament. And then the very last day, I will be possibly at Old Death at Blood and Honey for old Nathan Mauer's show. So I'll be doing that. Yes. And after that, I have a lot more stuff, but let's just leave it at that right now. If you're not, of course, I'm not in the area right now. You can catch me on Instagram at Dimitri _Alexandrov. I have an X. I'm calling it X. I didn't call it the other name.
It's Twitter.
It's
Twitter, guys.
It's Twitter. I know. But I am at Dimitri Killbear, all one word. I have TikTok that I'm trying to use more, but I'm terrible at it. It's just Dimitri Alexandrov on TikTok. Facebook, add me on there. I have a big cartel. Please buy my merch from there. I love it. It's not pro wrestling tees. It's all coming from me. It's not anyone else. So big cartel at Dimitri Alexandrov right there. I got lots of shirts up there on sale. Please.
And they're cool as fuck.
Thank you. I try to make cool shirts. I
have some.
Yes, you do. Thank you so much for it. I appreciate that.
And I still have your candle in my basement. My brother loved it.
Yes. Got some fun merch coming out. By the way. Some more different merch. I'll just say that.
Yes. If I can make a suggestion, we're coming up on the summer months. Us girls want fucking booty shorts and crop tops.
Booty shorts and crop tops.
Yes.
I will say this. Every shirt design I do, I always make sure it's very croppable. But I didn't say about making some crop shirts. We'll talk about that.
All right. With that being said, that is all we have for Mr. Dimitri. And the picture that I have randomly selected from my bag is Shayna fucking Baszler. So Shayna Baszler. Cool. If you message me on any of the social medias on the banner above after we go off air, first person to message me will receive that photo. With that being said, we are all done for tonight, but we will be back next week with an all-new episode, and we will be back with none other than Jarrett Diaz. He will be joining us here in the space station live next week. We will get you a time as soon as that happens, but with that being said, that is everything we got for you. Thank you again to Dimitri for joining me back here, and thank you to everybody at home. We will be back next week, and we will send you on your way. Have a great night.